About a week or two ago, there was a news story going around where there were images, actually a full video of what was supposed to be a dummy unit of the upcoming Galaxy Z Flip 5. It showed that big, massive, improved, perhaps, cover display on the back of the device. But there was one particular detail that had a lot of people, I think, a little bit concerned. Granted, these were dummy units, but typically dummy units are relatively close, right within, the ballpark of what the actual hardware is going to look like. I'm not going to show you the dummy units actually in this video because I'm scared of Samsung copyright striking me. What I can show you is my wife's Z Flip 3, because the thing we're talking about here is the gap between the two halves of the device, and the gap on the dummy unit was pretty much exactly the same as the gap here on my wife's Z Flip 3. And a lot of people, like myself, saw that and thought, wow, I thought we were going to be getting this new hinge, and now we've seen leaked images of the Z Fold 5, and we can see that it folds pretty much flat. There is still a tiny bit of a gap, more of a gap than we have in something like the Pixel Fold, but still folding mostly flat. But this dummy unit looked pretty much like this. It looked like there was almost no improvement at all in regard to that gap between the two halves of the device. But today, this morning, I can show you something that should ease your mind a little bit. Let's take a look here. Samsung India, they just went ahead and posted this video, 15 seconds long, and, well, let me just play it for you. This device does appear to be folding pretty much completely flat. That is a big deal. And of course, it's directly counteracting what we saw with those kind of concerning dummy units. Overall, this should be a really nice improvement for the pocketability of this device. It's already, it's a very thin device, right? And when it's folded over like this, it's really quite small. It's going to fit in your pocket really nicely, but you're shaving off several millimeters by having to actually fold all the way flat up there at the hinge area. So this is very, very good news. Now, they're very careful not to show the back of the device, not to show where that cover display has been pretty dramatically changed. Of course, we've seen renders of this over and over, and we know what this cover display is going to look like. We've actually seen leaked marketing imagery as well, showing that it appears as though that cover display is not going to be going all the way to where Motorola is, where they do allow you to run full applications on that cover display. It does appear like they're going with larger widgets, although I believe we've seen a photo of a full keyboard in addition to various new widgets that, again, I would love to show you this stuff, but I don't want to get copyright striked by Samsung, so you can Google and find most of the stuff online. So again, bigger cover display, much larger widgets, more readability, more things you can do on it, but they're still not opening things up as far as we've heard and seen in the way that Motorola is. We've also heard that there's a chance that the Z Flip 5 will be getting somewhere around a $100 price increase, which is definitely not something that we want to see, but it is, again, pretty heavily rumored at this point. Now, talking about the specifications we can expect, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 should be on the way, and it should be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Samsung, some sort of newer, improved version. We are looking more than likely 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of ROM. Of course, there should be a 256 version as well. An improved 12 megapixel primary camera. In some way, perhaps it's, again, slightly larger than it was before, something we saw them do with the Flip 3 going to the Flip 4. Probably something similar here. The ultra wide, the selfie camera, I think are staying pretty much identical. 3700 milliamp hour battery is, for a phone like that, for a phone that size that folds over, not too bad at all. 25 watt fast charging. I do wish was a little bit faster, but you're pretty thin, right? And going, with something this thin and charging super, super fast might not be the smartest thing for them to do at any rate. 25 watts is, it's okay. If it keeps cool enough to hit 25 watts most of the time, that's going to help a lot. Looking at you, Pixel Fold that says 30 watts, but almost never actually charges at 30 watts, probably because of the thermals. Definitely would be good to be able to get to and sustain at 25 watts. At any rate, guys, July the 26th is the date. We're going to see all of this stuff. So 5 short days away. There is a link in the description down below where you can reserve your device. Okay, you go in, you give them your email address, and what happens is when you buy the Flip 5 or the Fold 5, and of course there's no obligation, you can just not do it. You might as well just do this, because if there's a 1% chance you're going to buy one of these devices, what happens is when you actually go to make your purchase, they're going to give you $50 off your purchase. No, $50. We're talking about $1,000, $1,100, $1,800, $1,900. 50 bucks isn't that much, but it's something, and it's free. So go click the link down below, give them the email address. That's all you got to do. No money, nothing like that. And if you do buy it, you'll save 50 bucks at that point of purchase. I think they actually mentioned it in the video. I think they said pre-reserve now. And of course, this is the Indian channel, so they're using different currency, but it still should be the same sort of thing. Guys, hit that subscribe button before you go so you don't miss out on more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friend.